Welcome to the Right Hype podcast. My name is Gavon, your host, and we have an amazing, talented multi-hyphenate today. Her name is Gilah Elul. She is a brand builder and strategic storyteller with 12 plus years of experience empowering brands at the intersection of beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. She's worked with Chanel, Coach, Say Beauty, even the Miami Art District, and so many other brands. Not only is she an amazing, talented strategic storyteller, but she is also the co-founder of a luxury cannabis beauty brand, Muri Lelu, a cult favorite which has earned features in magazines like Vogue, The Cut, and InStyle. The brand is also a recipient of Allure's 2023 Best of Clean Beauty Award. She's the first generation daughter of a proud Belizean mother. Gilah is passionate about creating platforms to create and elevate the work of people of color, particularly women. Welcome to the Right Hype podcast.
It is my greatest honor to be here today. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No, thank you. Ever since I met you, I said, this girl is not only going to be my coworker, she's going to be my friend, and I'm going to get her on this podcast because everyone needs to know how talented she is.
Thank you.
I have to ask you, just to kick things off, like, how are you in this chapter of your life and how are you managing everything?
Ooh, this chapter of my life, it feels like a time of deep integration and wholeness, and just like a lot of things that I have been working towards over the past 10 years, and even a lot of things that even in the past 5 years I may have doubted myself on and kind of had to work through. It feels like it's all kind of coming together, and really just I'm seeing the fruits of a decade plus of labor in, professional, but also in just seeing like personal growth and how that's, kind of taking me to a next level. So it feels good to be in this phase. I'm not going to lie. It feels good to be here.
That is such good news to hear. Because before we jumped on, we were talking about how it's really been crazy in this economy. Like, to have a job is one thing, and that's like so much gratitude and gratefulness in that. But to also have a job that you really love and to be able to create outside of that and to have healthy, fostering healthy relationships that, are sort of transcending the day-to-day, like mundanity, like all of that is just so important to have right now, especially as creatives, as entrepreneurs. Like, we're juggling a lot, and it seems like you are managing really well, which is awesome.
It's all a balancing act, and there are many moments behind the scenes that are not glamorous and very hectic, but I think that's kind of the big integration is like, you're never going to do everything exactly right 100%, but that can't stop you. You have to kind of just go for it, try things, experiment, but also give yourself grace to kind of like, be like, today I'm not going to get everything done. Tomorrow is going to be a new day. And like, that's okay. And like, I feel like once I've gotten to that place and unlocked that, it's actually allowed me to achieve more and achieve at kind of just a higher output and scale, because I'm less afraid to make mistakes or to not be everything to everyone. I'm just doing what I need to do, which has been a beautiful blessing.
Love what you just said. That's amazing. We met at High Snobiety, which I get asked all the time, what does a strategist do at High Snobiety?
What drew me to, wanting to work at High Snob, really kind of being excited to join the strategy team there was really this insight into culture that is obviously so important to any strategist job at any agency. But prior to joining High Snob, a lot of my work in the agency world had been in kind of deep brand building and brand strategy. And so this kind of, continuum on that line of like building a brand, incubating the story, really kind of finding core, true human insights. I didn't have that full spectrum of like, how does it actually fully live in the world? And not just like through social strategy or content strategy, but through a deeper kind of like cultural undercurrent. And I feel like that was a really, now that I'm kind of reflecting back on it, a really important experience to really understand and have that space to decode, like, how does culture work? How do ideas move? How do kind of stories travel and transfer? And how does that map back to a brand? How does that kind of, we always talked about this all the time, but how does that credibility actually go backwards and proof a brand and strengthen a brand and elevate those core stories? Like, I really hadn't had that experience of kind of the true cultural strategy that the work that's done at High Snob. So it was really, I think, in reflecting, like a really good 360 moment where I was able to kind of like, now looking back, be like, oh yeah, that actually added tons to my knowledge, insight, and foundation as a strategist, because it really has helped me understand, even from building a brand, where and how those ideas have to fly, like, not just in this moment, but like for decades and decades and hopefully hundreds of years. If you're building a legacy brand, like, it really needs to be rooted in and flexible with that movement of culture. And so High Snob is like literally the masters of that. They are really good at having their finger on the pulse, but also kind of, yeah, decoding those bigger themes. So it was a really good learning experience, but also getting to meet amazing people like you. And, I know, like, when we met, I was just like instantly like, whoa, so much knowledge to unlock. This individual is just super, super insightful, genius. And everybody at High Sump kind of has that vibe and energy and lens.
So you're doing your 9 to 5. Now you've elevated from a strategist to now a creative director. I want to talk about your brand, Muri Lelu, Full Flower Skincare. Tell me how it all began.
Yeah, so that is my 5 to 9 weekends plus 5 in the morning to 9 a.m. Hat that I wear anytime that, yeah, I'm not at my desk as Métier Creative. As a creative director, that's my day job. But when I'm not working on that, I work on Muri Lelu. And we've been around since 2020, so going actually into our 5th year this summer. And the brand, we launched in 2020, but we were building the brand probably since 2018. So it was founded by myself, my sister, and another, long-term family friend of ours. It started both from kind of like a market insight. Back at this time, we were kind of seeing CBD and skincare CBD start to come online in beauty, wellness, skincare. We were lifelong flower users and lovers and other ways in our life and wellness routine. And so we thought it was really interesting that this ingredient was kind of, transitioning and finding a new, just sort of lens in the wellness and beauty space. And so we dug a little bit deeper into sort of the benefits and found out that it is an amazing antioxidant. It's kind of a super ingredient. So amazing antioxidants, really calming, it's anti-inflammatory, and it's just very good at promoting just holistic skin health and really kind of maintaining baseline wellness for your skin so that your skin can just be what it is and it's sort of like best manifestation. And so we really love that from the benefit side of it, but we also felt something was missing in terms of that essence of what is beauty, the sort of feeling, the spark, the magic of it. There were at this time, this was like kind of the reign and rise and ascension of like the 10-step routine, like every single product, the like multi elements to like morning, midday, night, like all these things that, you needed to look beautiful. And the question that we just kept coming back to was like, what about feeling beautiful? And I feel like that is a vibe that's very much present in beauty now today, where we're seeing sort of the rise of sensorial, fragrance, memory, all these things that really kind of tie together, the ritual aspect of it, really tie together that feeling component. But at the time, that was kind of missing from the beauty conversation. And so that is really what sparked us to create this brand, Muri Lelu, that was super edited. So we only have 3 products and we launched with 2. So we had a Bloom Rise Sativa Serum, which is like our very much priming, calming, soothing serum for day that really kind of sets you up for like flawless skin throughout your daily, wear and tear. And then we have a deeply nourishing and restoring oil for night, Mauve's Herb Indica Oil. Both of the products that we launched with are meant to be this like night and day duo, but they're also very sensorial. So they both have cannabis inspired aromatherapy in it. We worked with a nose, a perfumer in the southwest of France, to create these, aromatherapeutic essential oil blends. So the sativa one is, as you can probably guess, very kind of elevating, kind of gets your awareness on for the day. It opens up your third eye, I like to say, just kind of gives you that kind of pop of energy in the morning. And then exactly. And then the indica one is really kind of nutty, herby. It's a little bit more grounding. It gives you that moment of like deep restoration at night. So, that's just kind of an example of how we think about our products as sort of this portal to, yes, great results, great benefits, overall holistic skin health, but also this instant feeling of feeling beautiful, feeling grounded, feeling like who you are, where you are. We want to inspire that with every single book that we create. And so that's kind of our mantra, our ethos. And that was really the driving force behind the brand. We introduced a new product, which is a retinoid in last year. Yeah, the top of last year. And yeah, it's been a slow grow. We're self-funded, so everything that we do is pretty much bootstrapped. Like I said, we're very intentional and we do things at the highest level, and we think a lot about every single drop, every single asset, every single product that we release, which is kind of the antithesis of like where beauty is at now, because it's a very high volume, innovation heavy game. And so, I think for brands like us, which there are, a lot still in the market, it is a little bit more challenging to compete, especially when it comes to retail, where you're constantly being asked about innovation. What's coming next? When's the new drop? You've just released a product. When's the next one? But we're kind of just sticking to our intention, where this isn't about more, more, more. It's about less that makes you feel more and, be your best skin and self.
How do you stay intentional in a world that is so sort of like driven and like ever evolving?
It's definitely an art, both an art and a practice. Like I can very, like in my head, I'm having so many examples, but like explicitly say that it was not easy. And we made a lot of mistakes in the beginning when we launched the brand, where, again, we had two products and we're just, retailers are asking us more, more, more. And we're like, okay, we need to do this. We need to do that. Look at this brand over here doing that. And I think now that we're entering into year 5 and we've really built this kind of like cult community, whether it's, all the love from editor, everything that we've gotten from, our awards, articles, like celebrity, like fanfare, that's all kind of been just organic. That's come to us, that's flowed to us because and that's kind of happened because we've had to just stay true to our vision. Like we've tried other things and we're like, this doesn't work. This doesn't feel quite right. And we noticed that the more that we stay very intentional, locked in on like what we do, very much honed in on this story of like, it's about looking and feeling your best, everything flows to us when we're in that like state of mind and in that bag. And so I think for us, it's really, and for me as somebody who, kind of manages the brand marketing, the creative direction, all of our sort of storytelling channels, like I've really noticed the difference of having to kind of like minimize the noise and really hone in on projecting like from, or what do you call it? Inside out, projecting from inside out as opposed to outside in. And it's made just a difference in the quality of people that connect with the brand, the engagement, the loyalty, and ultimately in the conversion. So, like one of our biggest proof points and metrics is we have a really strong subscription program. So people that sign up to get the product delivered 60 days, 90 days, whatever the cadence that they choose, especially for a brand of our size with the amount of products that we have. And that is kind of, to me, I see that as a testament for we're not for everybody. We're really intentional with who we are, who we speak to, and we resonate deeply with those people. So yeah.
That's so awesome. How are you building relationships with customers?
We do everything. I think because we're small, we're afforded kind of the luxury of this, but like we do everything from, traditional social, email, storytelling, all of the traditional channels, but even down to like, I will literally hop on one-on-one calls with customers. Like if I see that they are, writing into customer service about something or they're new subscribers, I'll like reach out to them and be like, thank you for subscribing. I'm so curious about why you decided to be a subscriber. I see you purchased 3 times before. Let's hop on a call. And I literally will have one-on-one calls with them just to kind of like deepen that relationship. We've done a lot with events offline. We've partnered with a lot of our retailers to do in-store events, and that works really well too, because so much of the experience of the brand is sensorial. It's aromatherapy. It's feeling the lightness of, the oil and the serum. So I think we try to attack it from both ends, like traditional digital and brand building efforts, but also this more one-to-one relationship where we're really kind of getting in this lane of helping them understand the texture, the quality, and sort of the experiential elements of the product too.
So, thinking about your growth trajectory, the lessons that you've learned, would you say that like in person brand building is more important for that first sort of like year one, year two founder? Or is it really about um, establishing a foot on social and really unlocking sort of that those platforms?
It's a good question. I feel like this really depends on the type of brand that you are. I feel like, and I'll obviously use our brand as an example. For us, we are very much a brand that wants to be, integrated in the consumers every single day. Like the product is designed to be used year in, year out, at least twice a day. Like, that's what we created it for. And I think we put a lot of emphasis in the beginning on like trying to be disruptive on social and doing all this like very in-depth and very expensive storytelling. And, I think a lot of that is important and is always going to be the foundation, especially when you're in that year 5 to year 10 where you're scaling. You need to reach more consumers than ever. If you're a brand that's bootstrapping, you're probably looking at, kind of paid media for the first time around that like 3 to 5 year mark. But it is so important to have that foundation of in person and cultivate that word of mouth kind of like sensibility and like magic. And like that doesn't always happen, at an event in person. It can happen online and, it definitely can happen on social. And of course, everything that you do needs to build and kind of create and inspire that share and kind of, this is so cool. Let me share with my friends. But I think if you are a brand founder that's working on something indie, working on something and still kind of incubating something new where you're bootstrapping, it is really important to create those connections one to one, to put yourself out there. And it was literally the hardest thing for me. You know me, I'm a very like shy, soft spoken, like I just need a minute to like feel into a room before I like dive in. So it was the biggest challenge the first 3 years for me to realize like for the health of this business, for the health of this brand, I have to push myself to the limit and like be that like, just person that is the connector. And like, I think there's a lot of pressure put on founders to like be on a panel, be on like always be out, always be doing stuff, always be selling, like always be talking your founder entrepreneurial girl boss shit. But I think it's really important to find your way in and how you like to do it. And like we've done a lot of, like I said, kind of retailer events or moments where I really get to kind of like get nerdy about the product with people and really teach them and, draw their attention to details about the formulation that I'm excited about. And like that always resonates really well. People seem to really love that kind of attention and just like decoding from a founder. And so I would just say like it's really crucial in those first couple of years to kind of find what works for you, but knowing that you have to use your voice. You have to like use your voice. You have to engage your community, especially if you don't have, heavy pockets to kind of like artificially do that. You really need to kind of put yourself out there. So like finding your way in is crucial.
I wanted to bring that up because I do think as founders, as creators, like not siloing yourself to Instagram or TikTok is important. It's there for a reason, but not every brand should blow up on, should be a TikTok viral brand.
Yeah, and our vibe and ethos is not quite that. So in the beginning, it was frustrating where I was like, why aren't we like going viral every time I post? Like, what's going on? But I realized too when it actually comes to, and this is important too, like the actual metrics that matter to your bottom line of your business. Like, yes, going viral is great. And, you hear stories of brands that like crack the code of going viral to translate that to sustainable conversion. But also you hear the stories of people that go viral off a celebrity TikTok once, their sales go crazy for like 3 weeks, and then they can never, they're always chasing that high. They can't replicate it. Versus if you have that, you put in the time to really like build long-term relationships, both with the customers, both with your target, or also with your target audience, people that may not be customers yet, but you know that the product is right for them. How do you get into that circle, incubate those conversations? And then also, most importantly, with the retailers, retailers, like they are people too. Of course they have their quotas of we're bringing this type of product, that type of product, but so many of the retailers that we have that are loyal to us, that, continue placing orders, that give us a chance, it's because they like us. It's the product is great. They see products all the time though. They want to work with people that they like, that inspire them, that when they, oh, we went out to a coffee and it was like fun, I had a good time, I'm left with something in my head. Like, it is so important to do that work if you are building something from scratch, if you are, indie, if you are bootstrapping, because you just don't unfortunately have the capital and the scale to like have the viral hit every single time.
Your point, if it's not sustainable, it's here and then it's gone.
Your numbers will show it. So it's like important to just build steadily and like grow upwards. And you do that through finding your people early, understanding who they are, understanding how you add to their life, how you serve them, and then finding more people exactly like them, like over and over and over.
Yeah, that's great. What's your favorite product?
My favorite product, which is also our kind of like gold star, what everybody loves, is our oil, our night oil. It's the first product we launched with mauvaise herb indica oil. So mauvaise herb means like bad weed in French. So it's a little bit of a pun and a play. But that product is so multifunctional. It's for everybody who's scared of oils, which a lot of people don't like using oils because they're like, oh, is it going to clog my pores? Am I going to get acne? It is the biggest compliment we get on this oil from everybody, retailers, editors, celebrities, to customers, is how light it is and how instantly absorbing it is, but also very, very deeply hydrating, nourishing. I use it like every morning, every night. I like mix it with other products in the morning just to get extra hydration. I use it every single night, like as like my final step. I also love the herbiness and the earthiness of it. So it just smells different from other things on the market, but also it's like fun to smell. Like, I love to do this and just kind of drink it in and take it in. And it's multifunctional. So like I said, you can pair it with other products. I also use it, not every night, but like today I would because I have makeup on, but I use it as like a makeup remover, oil cleanse. So you can use it for, if you're into double cleansing, you can do that. It really is just like a Swiss Army knife product for people to have. And so that's my absolute favorite. I do have a favorite child.
And what is your relationship with beauty?
I'm definitely in a very interesting phase of my relationship with beauty. I've worked in and around beauty for probably the last 10 years. So I've kind of seen all the trends. And for me, what started as, a love of just kind of like fun and colors and expression and all of that stuff, has really kind of evolved into more of like a way that okay, this is going to sound big, but a way that I see the world. And again, it is about kind of that expression, but on a deeper level. It's about, for me, identity. It's about aligning myself with things that feel good values that feel good. And I like to kind of align with products and experiences in beauty that really bring that out for me. So it is a little bit of my lens to how I see and engage with the world. I'm also in a stage of like, you know, getting up there, getting closer to 40 on the scale. And I'm starting to think a little bit more intentionally about the products that I bring into my routine, about, kind of just the rituals. Day to day skincare is like, we all know this, but like it's so important. Sun care is so important. If you want to keep that like glass skin look forever for all complexions, it is like the most important. And yeah, I mean, I think just like trying to have a balance of like, what do I want to do for prevention, aging, at the same time, what do I want to do to just be comfortable with what I look like at any phase, any stage, any age, and like know that that's good enough. So I'm kind of in this like journey of figuring that out and kind of connecting with, just brands, people that have, tried it all, experienced it all, and sort of forming my own POV on it. Because there's like literally so much that you can do. And I kind of just want to maybe not do everything and just kind of focus on how do I like just feel really good every day as like my baseline for being beautiful going forward.
Do you have any like secret beauty tips?
Secret beauty tips. Okay, so I am a huge, huge, huge lover of facials from like just an experiential component. Like I love to like go on vacation and get facials to see what's up with like, in this market or whatever. But I think it's so important as a component of like good skin health. Like, so, everybody knows like gua sha, facial massage, but like really taking the time to go deep is very important. I'm also really loving, I think, just and very interested in kind of, I haven't really tried them much, but like exomes, which are kind of these new like forms of peptides that are emerging. So I'm very like interested in exploring those with formulations. And then mists. Okay, I'm really into mists, like misting lately, and I never was in the past, but like it really does add so much beautiful base and like hydration. It helps all your products sink in like so much deeper. So I've been using Edam's Mommy Wada mist, and that is like whew, perfection. Like and like I'll just do that, and then like sometimes just like the oil right after it, the indica oil, and like it's just chef's kiss. So yeah.
Okay, this is a secret. I told my friend that I wanted to develop a scent, like a fragrance. If I were looking to start my brand today, what are the first couple steps if I want to break into the beauty industry?
I mean, where all strategists start is like, what is different about this brand? But it is like so crucial in beauty because this space has exploded so much. There literally every day, there's like a new brand popping up or launching. So making sure that you are super, super tight on that, like positioning on your USPs, really understanding how your product adds something different to the market. Because even within, kind of my day job as like, a creative director, and I also work and oversee our strategy team. Like there are so many clients that come to us and we're literally like, okay, like what's the point of differentiation? And they're like, to be honest, like not much. And it's just really hard, especially if you're new right now, to build traction without that. So make sure you do your research, make sure you have a point of view. I would say when it comes to like your storytelling and your brand building, this too, but like it's all about, especially within beauty, I think that really just the world building. I think some of the best brands that are like bridging the gap and doing cool things in beauty right now are like extreme world builders, like a Flamingo Estate, or, another brand that my founder of my agency has actually built, Cydia. Like they are so deeply, like every single detail is so perfectly calculated. The lifestyle is so clearly communicated. It is that like full world. So definitely figure out how to kind of like build your own unique world within this beauty space. Again, adding that point of view. And then the third thing I would say is like go deep on the benefits. Like even if you need to like, and fragrance is a little bit different because it's really about the experience, the memories. But even now with fragrance, people are wanting to really nerd out about like what are the top notes? What is the base note? Like where are the ingredients sourced from? So, and when it comes to like skincare and even color as well, people really want to understand like what are the benefits, what is the scientific backing, like yes, all of this looks good, but like what is it actually going to do for me, and like what is the clinical proof behind that. So making sure that you have that lined up. I feel like even when we started Muri Lelu, that was, you know, we had all these beautiful botanicals in it, but we were talking very much from this like holistic high level of like amazing oil sourced from like, you know, the finest things in the world. And people are like, okay, but like, what does it do? What does it do? And like, what is the clinical proofing? So, you know, and that was 5 years ago. So it's only gotten much more, the consumer's gotten so much more savvier. So I would say definitely honing in on your unique POV, taking that all the way to the end in every single thing that you do, building the world, making it comfy, making it intimate for like the people that come into your world and the people that the world is built for, but also making sure that that world can like travel far, right? And like can reach many more people, just like the ones in your world to begin with, and then really just understanding the science behind your product, being able to speak to it confidently, in a way that feels differentiated, leaning on ASMR, all of that stuff.
Thank you for the advice. I may or may not actually create this brand. It's definitely like one in the vault that I may do later on, but
Fragrance is like blowing up right now, best selling category in Sephora. So don't sleep on it too, don't sleep on it too long.
I think I was just gonna close it out and ask like if you have any advice for anyone who's just like wanting to start something, maybe stumbling along the way right now and needs a little bit of motivation.
Hmm. I feel like this is me pep talking to myself too, because there's always more things that you want to do, and you're always just kind of like, I don't know, and to your point, stumbling around it. But I think, especially this period that we are heading into, like that is very turbulent. We're also in this sort of like, you know, revolution when it comes to AI, and you know, AI finding its own voice, and you know, the balance between what is going to be the human perspective and the AI perspective. All that to say is like the world needs your voice right now. We need people that have perspectives, that have opinions on things. Like an opinion is the greatest gift right now, and so to be able to kind of bring that forward in a way that sparks people, touches people, like just know that it's needed. Like if that helps you stay motivated, like this isn't just for you, this is other people need it too, like right now in this moment in time. So that would be my encouragement to other entrepreneurs, but also myself.
Wow, what a way to end today's episode. Thank you so much, Gila.
You are one of my favorite people and one of the most inspiring strategists I have worked with. So thank you for having me.